once upon a time, there was a collection of extraordinary ideas about how you might create a new generation of launch vehicles that could fundamentally alter the world of essentially just living with expendable launch vehicles that were art projects. To make the equivalent of Rolls Royces that you got to drive once. And that somehow or another there would be another way. And there was a bunch of conceptual engineering and actually preliminary design work that was done on this. And this was the precursor to the Space Shuttle program. And a rather curious thing happened. There was no confluence of interests amongst the politicians. There was no political will to make it real. Furthermore, even the enthralled public that were in a sense astounded by the technological hubris of the space age did not rise to the challenge of articulating their interest in the future that they want to come to pass. We had a situation where NASA was effectively left twisting in the wind, and effectively ended up having to sell its soul as an agency to try and create some path forward. And it was born of that era, the most extraordinary spaceship that humans have ever conceived, and was actually built. And not because of some extraordinary insight that we had figured out just the right way of doing it. And it turned out that, we, in many cases, we pressed the limits of what we knew and beyond in virtually every era, every aspect of the craft. Not intentionally. It was supposed to be the frigging conservative design that could, be built for the least amount of money that turned out to be the maximum amount of money that the executive branch and the politicians of the day would tolerate. In the absence of any, outcry from the constituency to, do something different. And yet that came forward and was built and has bought us, the knowledge of how to go to work in space. So the notion of anybody that goes through and decries, well, we could have done X or we could have done Y. I'm sorry, they weren't there. They weren't part of what it took to actually make something real at all, and we did. And it's been an extraordinary run. And what we've encountered, though, in the ensuing 30 years, is that somehow we got comfortable with the idea that, as opposed to building the next generation, succeeding generations that we were supposed to, that, well, it was okay to just, make view graphs, or in the contemporary vernacular, PowerPoint presentations, and that was sufficient. I'm sorry, it never was. It never will be. It's about what we actually build as a species, what we dare to make real, that is where the juice is. It's what makes us different. We have the ability to be conscious of what is possible, to breathe life into things, the ability to choose to engage, to endow things with meaning, to care, to love, to dare to consider what could be possible and dare to actually make it so. This is, the future before us is an extraordinary opportunity to create, make real on options for a positive future for all of humanity by, opening up, the solar system and bringing the vast resources of space to bear for the dramatic betterment of humanity. I'm sorry, this isn't about a tale of woe. This is a tale of extraordinary opportunity. This isn't about what we failed to do. This is about standing on the shoulders and rolling forward on the extraordinary work that's been done and taking it to the next level, not in just one vector of opportunity, but in a myriad of them.